Well, hi there, folks. Welcome to session three of Welcome to the Academy. It's been so long, I forgot what numbers we were on. I am, of course, your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests, right here on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And with me today, as you can see, I've got my lovely and amazing cast. They're all freaking stunning, and I love them all. We have the lovely Gina Donahue, we have got the amazing Charlie 182.0, we've got the tremendous Just Dan, we've got the stunning, my mind just went blank. My brain stopped mid-sentence.
Surely one of you.
My brain ADHD'd and stopped mid-sentence. Sorry about that. We have the stunning, Just Say No. I said no? I choose no. Fuck.
I choose no.
Choose no. Fuck me, man. I swear to God I'll get this at one point.
Dan really made an appearance right there.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out my camera settings, and that was horrifying. My bad.
And then, last and most certainly not least, we've got the astounding Changeling Rogue. It's been a while since I've done this one. Yes, it is. I got that one right. Hello, sorry, my brain. It's very warm in here now. ADHD is running me red. Hi. It's been a while since we did Welcome to the Academy, and it's really, really good to be back. Do I have any housekeeping to start off with? Do I indeed? My list next to me says I do not, at least not for the public eye. Keep an eye on the social medias, check out everywhere at World Tree Quests, because some announcements will be coming soon. Other than that, I'm going to go straight to the annoying question that every single one of my players absolutely loves, and I love to ask, and nobody ever hates me for having to put them on the spot to say it. But guys, what in the hell happened last session, which was over a month ago?
You almost killed us.
I really didn't mean to, okay?
There was a really cute owl bear that had a baby, and we were totally not panicking about it at all whatsoever, and we also totally weren't the only people in the class to pass class that day.
Yeah. That.
100% what happened.
The only 5 people who had survival instincts.
So,
Oops.
I take notes. I have them, but I do the taper off method of taking notes, which is to say the further into the session we go, the fewer notes I take.
Yeah, you know what happened was that I stopped taking notes right when we figured out that an owlbear was coming straight toward us, and I think I panicked, and I completely forgot to take notes.
I wrote in all caps, owlbear and stuff ensues, and that's like where my notes ended.
Well, isn't it a really good thing that's real? Yeah. That's, to be perfectly honest, where session ended.
You convinced the guy, and then he poisoned the bird feeders. All of the water.
Yes, Lauren, that totally happened.
You've also convinced... and just to tell you, a ranger, by the way. This man is a ranger. This ain't no, I'm gonna grab some random berries and hope for the best. This motherfucker knows what he's doing.
And we should have trusted him.
And we were waiting for Obsidian to show up and, get the news that the birds are in danger.
And the thing that none of us know is that Aurora got up to some business.
So true.
That really makes it sound like she's doing something way different.
I know, right?
Aurora got up to some business in the cemetery.
We all know what I mean.
My mind went to necromancy. I don't know where y'all's are, okay? My mind went to the black magic. I'm not weird, okay?
Mines are in the gutter.
I feel like everyone had...
Dan, you are the odd one out in this party.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it weird to jump to the conclusion of necromancy over other shenanigans? Really?
I definitely...
In college? Yes.
I'm a nerd. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So let's see. I have kind of just some smaller, meaningful interactions between certain characters, like Achillea and Randuin. We're kind of talking about their rooms, and Randuin's room is like a ship, and Achillea has like a whole forest in hers, and Randuin wants to take Achillea on a boat, like maybe tonight. I remember.
That's not necromancy, I'll tell you that much.
Let me take you on my ship, baby.
I'm really great that we have your expertise here for that. Dan, what's that on the necromancy meter? Not necromancy.
Not necromancy.
I really want
on the scale of 1 to 100, that might be a 0.
I want a moment where you guys are like face to face with a lich army of the undead coming in. Constantine just goes, "Guys, I think there might be some necromancy at play here."
It's like Karen in the
On my necromancy meter, reading high.
I want
Ding, ding, ding.
I want Constantine to be like the girl from Mean Girls who's like, "There's at least a 68% chance it's raining." So there was definitely a cutscene at the end where we saw Aurora enter a mausoleum. We don't know what else was going on with that shenanigans, but we know that happened. What was said was basically correct. You guys did your first introductory class to Magizoology about studying animals' body language and interactions with each other. You also learned a valuable lesson. If you ever see an owlbear cub out in the open in the wild, don't go fucking near it. They tend to be quite territorial. It's a good thing that this particular owlbear seems to be the beast companion to the beast master ranger Magizoology professor, who's definitely not a self-insert because, to be honest, I needed a zoologist, and well, I'm a zoologist, so it got put in there. After that, you guys got to spend some time chilling with the owl cub and the owlbear cub, and the owlbear. You got to, I believe it was incredibly important for someone to pet the owlbear cub. We know it. We know it was you. We know it was Dia. And that was before we jumped off. I believe we actually ended right there with you guys just being surrounded by, a growing flock, pack, whatever the multitude is of owlbears. I'm gonna go with flock. I like the idea of like a flock of mammals. So yeah, we ended with you guys getting prepared to move on to your next class, which is
Alchemy.
Potions.
Alchemy.
Will you guys make something amazing, or will you blow the place up? Both.
Yes.
Both are definitely things I've planned for. So, to get right into it, you guys have come from a Magizoology class. You've been trundling through the underbrush of the forest here for a fair wee bit of time now. This class has taken you a fair bit of depth into the forest, and as you are being led out, the forest seems like it's a much, when you first came in here and it was quite, gloomy, and the air was very muggy, and sorry, I say muggy, I keep forgetting not everybody knows Scots.
We have muggy too.
We have muggy.
Do you guys use muggy? Fucking
yeah.
You don't use mogget, do you?
Muggy? No.
No.
We use muggy.
We're still weird. Okay, but we're not as weird. That's great. So it's quite muggy. It's quite it's one of those ones where you walk and you can feel the air you're walking through. But as you're leaving, it's as if the forest has lifted its menacing overtones and has become a fair bit of a nicer place. There's much more animal activity now. Which may or may not have been down to some kind of trickstery behaviour, or it could have just been pure coincidence. With this professor that you've got leading you through these wilderness, who knows? Could have been all set in place for him to make you start to panic. But eventually you get to the edge of the forest, and you can see the large castle that is your home for the next 4, 5, 6 years, however long you choose to study here. From here, your next class is Potions, Alchemy, an introduction. And that takes place in the greenhouses. which are fairly close by. They're about, say, about 100 feet away, attached to the castle. There's a bit of time before you're required to be there, you know. Unlike most schools in the UK, I don't know about what it is like in the US, you don't get breather space in schools in the UK, so between your lessons, you're expected to just, like, you know, teleport to your class. But here, you have, like, you've got a bit of time between each class to get there. So, there is time if you guys wish to do something, speak to someone. So I put to you guys, after your first class, what would you like to do now that you're out of the Forbidden Forest, quote unquote?
Do I notice that Aurora's gone?
What is your... Well, do you know what? For yourself, I would say that's fair. You can make an active perception check.
My +1. It's a 4.
It's a 4. Everybody's just come out of the forest. She could be lagging behind a little bit, you know. She's not.
Sounds like her.
It's a bit silly to say you wouldn't be able to see that she's not here. It's not as if you're going to turn around and go, "Oh, Aurora," and it's a tree. You can definitely tell she's not here right now, but you can't tell that she's gone. You can definitely see she's not present right now. But you're all kind of still grouped up around the entrance to this forest. So she could be at the back of the mob, she could have lagged behind a little bit, who knows. Anything from anybody else at all?
I'm invested in the bird feeders now.
Okay, there is a bird feeder nearby.
Has Obsidian, like, arrived yet? Because when we left off last time, he was, like, on his way.
I 100% remembered that. No, that's an absolute lie. I completely forgot that Obsidian hadn't arrived yet. So what I'll say on that one, because DM faux pas, is Obsidian is stomping across the yard right now. I say stomping, he's not stomping angrily, he's just a gargoyle, so he's made of, like, solid obsidian. He's very heavy. So every step he takes kind of sinks a little bit. But he is stomping his way over towards the bird feeders right now. Actually, on that, this is a cool little chance for an interaction. Let me see, where is a dice that I can use? Oh, I will use that one for Obsidian. It's blue, but I will still use it. Okay. Anybody that looks at Obsidian can choose to, if they wish, make a... I believe it would be Charisma saving throw.
Just looking at him?
Just
or, like, observing him?
No, like if you see him.
I'll make one. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's a 3.
Yeah, 13.
I love your logic for taking it.
24?
I'll make it. I'm currently there.
I'm there! I'm in the room! Or on the outside.
So anybody that got above 11, you are fine. You will not be... You will not... you do not get frightened by him, but he looks angry. He looks like a very, very angry gargoyle. To anybody that rolled below 11, like, as he gets closer, you would actively feel like you need to step back. Like, bear in mind that this gargoyle, he is like... Dia, for being a gargoyle, is, in the nicest way possible, a bit of a runt, quite short for a gargoyle. Gargoyles are usually in the 7, 8, sometimes going like almost like Goliaths. Some of the larger ones can top about 9 feet tall. Obsidian is about 8 feet tall. He's fairly imposing. And he stomps, and he gets towards the bird feeder. And you see these bird feeders, they're wicker. They're like wicker woven and they look real pretty and stuff. And he just reaches his hand up and just crushes it. And then he pulls it out of the tree, looks over the group, points to the bird feeder and just says, "Does anyone know who is responsible for the poison inside of these?" I put it to the party. What would you all like to do?
Sorry, can you say it again? My dog broke the door open.
Listen, I'm not going to believe the dog ate your homework. I'm definitely not going to believe it broke the... No. So, Obsidian has asked if anybody knows who's tampered with the bird feeders.
I have.
Did we overhear Eldwin? Eldwin came over to Dia and Achille and Constantine being like... Okay, I don't think I heard that.
I don't think Eldwin told us who did it, just that it happened.
Yeah.
So Constantine both being scared and also not being an overly very fond of Eldwin is going to point towards Eldwin.
Damn, officer!
That's the one who's drinking tea unironically. Charles, they found us. Okay. Constantine dobs Eldwin right in. Eldwin, your response.
Yeah,
he raises an eyebrow and he goes, I reported it. That doesn't mean I did it.
Yeah, you definitely would not do that. You're an ass, but you're not that kind of person.
I mean, genuinely, animal cruelty is below me.
Is that supposed to convince us that you wouldn't do that?
I'm not trying to convince you of anything.
Let's see if Obsidian... Okay. Obsidian will look at you closely. He'll narrow his eyes with like an audible grinding sound. And then he'll just lean in a little bit and say, if I find out who did this, they will be in for serious consequences. Am I understood?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know if you... And it looks so you can tell, like you can tell he's really wanting to say something that he's not allowed to say. Like he wants to like... Dia, you would probably know. His favourite way to refer to annoying students is to call them meatbags. To make fun of how squishy and frail their bodies are. But he has been told several times by Professor Heronius that you can't call the students meatbags. Or flesh sacks. Neither of those are okay. And so he just grinds his jaw and says, students. To understand. But poisoning birds is not polite. Please refrain from doing so. And then he just takes this crushed wicker bird feeder and turns and just walks away.
So, Dia, I'm guessing you know that guy?
Oh, yeah, he's in charge. I'm real tough.
Seems it.
So, let's all put our cards on the table right now. Who actually did it? And I'm pointing at Eldwin.
I ask who did it while pointing at Eldwin. I'm not saying it was you. I'm saying who I'm blaming.
Yeah, I'm asking you to do the explaining.
Oh, you want me to tell you who poisoned the feeder?
Well, it seems like we're all roped in this now. I don't want to get blamed for any of this. Do you even know?
I do.
Or did you just make that up?
No, knowledge is power. You decide who to tell things, you know?
Oh, don't I?
Are you gonna get, like, in trouble if we find out who did it? Even if it wasn't you? Because sometimes that happens. I've seen it happen a lot. People just kind of get in trouble sometimes.
Well, how could that be my fault? Couldn't possibly be traced back to me.
I don't know. Did you like...
The fact that you actively told us that bird feed... You do realize you're the only person that it would get tracked back to, considering you're the one who reported it.
Anonymously.
Yeah, but like, how did you find out?
Do you know what anonymous means?
Not really.
Yeah, you don't really seem capable of doing anything without some level of obnoxious flair.
Yeah.
Just flair, thank you. Alar and Willow end, by the way. And Elwyn turns and leaves.
I don't know whether I'm impressed with his honesty or disgusted by his lack of loyalty.
Yes. I think the answer is yes.
Seems like a good option.
He would
You know
make
what
a very good hag if he wasn't a man.
You know what I do find
Fortunate.
interesting is that he seemed so eager to tell somebody, and then as soon as the person in charge came, he just shut up like a clam.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's incredible. He's such a paradox. Well, what class do you all have next?
Potions.
Potions.
So do I.
Dia,
We
do
got
you
a
have
little bit-
potions too?
Pardon?
Do you have potions next too?
I do. She like pulls her blankie around her shoulders a little bit tighter.
Oh my gosh, I love that blanket. Is it crochet?
It's knitted.
Oh my gosh, did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Homemade knitted stuff is just, it's so cozy.
It is cozy. You can feel it.
I'm transported. You're so talented.
Dia's like making a mental note, like, make her blanket.
Complimented knitwork. Must make entire wardrobe filled with knitted goods. Rista goes from being like the debutante girl to being like the girl that walks around just wearing cardigans all the time.
Oh, if anyone wants insight into her, I can't really tell if she's doing like the Regina George, like that is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen, or if she genuinely likes it.
Dia's not sure
I love how
either,
you
but
don't
she's
even know.
staring on the side.
I don't even know. It's completely on cue at this point. Just like, oh my gosh, you look amazing.
Somebody complimenting your initial thing is a shut.
Ow, please.
Okay. Like I said, the greenhouses are about 100, maybe 150 feet away. So, not that far away whatsoever. Is there anything you guys would like to do before heading to potions class? Or are you all just making your way there?
On our way, I'll quickly address the, I guess mostly Achillea and Dia since we were working together, but if Risa is there, then as well. As much as I hate admitting my own shortcomings or acknowledging that they exist at all, I should probably apologize. I should have realized that the maturation of the owlbear cub did not match one in the wild and realized that we were dealing with one in captivity. That's on me. My apologies.
You are.
I don't know why you would know that off the top of your noggin.
I read it last night. I just forgot or didn't connect the dots as quickly as I needed to in the moment. My apologies.
Well, I mean, you only read it last night, and you only read it once, I assume. So, I mean, why would that just be like, oh, off the cuff, just you know it? Like, that's not how that works.
That's usually how that works.
Oh,
Okay, Lucky.
Do you do anything for fun that's not being in the library?
Hmm.
Do you want to try origami? Just like lifts out a piece of crafting paper.
Yeah, I'm not saying academics aren't important here. I'm just saying it's not going to be every single thing that we do here.
Pop Poppy's just on the ground, just pulling like bits of like
It's
paper
a school.
out of her pouch. So it's just like a growing mound of coloured paper.
What else would I do other than study?
Make friends, get to know people who you can continue to do things with after you study.
And how
you're out of here?
How would that help me understand the fundamentals of magic, though? I'm confused.
Well, it might not, but it's important to know other stuff.
Magic
Well,
is
don't you think that?
collaborative.
Well, don't you think that magic is inherently tied to the conscious mind?
Perhaps, but not necessarily one that can't be discovered without oneself. If it's tied to the conscious mind, it's tied to my conscious mind, which is the only one that is necessary while studying, right?
I mean, the most powerful magic is always done in at least groups of 3.
And also, it seems like you're only interested in studying theoretical magic when there's also practical magic.
I definitely appreciate the practical aspects. I just don't like risking my life in order to practice them.
Okay.
Somebody
What
walking
about this?
by hears your wrist and says, "I love that movie." Couldn't resist it. From the little dimension where your familiars exist when they're not physically manifested, Constantine, you're just going to hear that ever so loving little voice just go, "Well, I mean, you can't spell fundamentals without fun." Or mental. So if you ain't fun, then you're mental.
Are you okay? You just sneered really bad.
Sorry, there's this little voice in the back of my head. I'm gonna need to deal with that. I lost my train of thought. It's very difficult to remain having conscious thought when there's,
I always wondered what that
power
phrase means,
hungry
losing your train of thought. Like, is there a train in your head or something? Like, do you hear choo-choo noises? I never heard a choo-choo noise in my life until,
Is it possible? You guys seem a little bit more familiar with deities. Could I have been cursed or accidentally pissed off some kind of god of intellect in order to burden me with a insatiable raccoon that just wants to eat and devour everything?
I think you're just suppressing yourself in many ways.
But you definitely also could be cursed.
Okay, so we have suppression or curse. I'm gonna go with curse because that seems easier to deal with. Know how to get rid of one of those?
I mean, surely there's a way in a book.
Of course, the answer is always more books. Thank you.
We're standing in the back of our head. I've just created a monster.
Is it more books? How many more books do I need?
There's not words, Rista, but you from that very, very same place, you get a very, very. It's like a little nudge, okay? It's like when a cat bumps their head against you, of like agreement, like yes, you have created a monster. You're going to have to deal with that at some point.
What about stuff that's not in books? What about stuff you have to know people for?
Like what?
Well, okay, so I knew this gargoyle who was like, yeah, like I'm like spectacular at wood burning, okay? But there's so much more variable to wood burning than what you learn in the book. So then I had to be like, I help you, I teach you stuff. And then they were like so much better at wood burning because we did it together and we learned off of each other, off of stuff that wasn't in the book that we had to learn through practice. Sometimes you need a buddy for that kind of stuff.
I suppose there is something to be said about the hands-on aspect of magic. You can't purely just focus on the theoretical aspects of it, but that still would be encapsulated in academics, hence the class that we're all going to, correct?
I mean, I've been brewing potions without a class for a little bit. It's pretty standard stuff. You don't know how to do that?
Well, I did read a few books on it last night, but I haven't actually practiced any, so...
I'm pulling your leg. I'm pulling your leg.
She's pulling your leg? Oh, you can't let that fly. Pull hers back! Twist it!
Oh. Is that something for... Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. And Constantine's just gonna kind of nod and awkwardly walk slightly faster towards the next class.
Note to self, Constantine can't handle friendly pushes. We should all remember this.
Constantine can't handle getting roasted.
Elwin just comes barreling down towards him.
It's just like Elwin's sensitive. Like I sense Constantine getting dissed. I must witness it.
Eldrin just gets this. I sense a disturbance in the force.
I'm needed elsewhere.
Okay, so with you guys hanging around conversing there before making your way towards the class, Eldrin, you walked off pretty sharpish.
Yeah.
Are you going somewhere else, or are you beelining straight to class?
I am making my way to class. As I walk, I guess I'll ask Renard. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I've already burned the bridge with them. So do I. I just keep burning it, right? Like till it's ash.
I mean, that wouldn't be my first approach, but baby, once a fire's started, it's hard to put it out.
Well, truth is, I think only one or two of them actually don't like me.
There's another approach you could try, but it's difficult. Some might even say for you, dangerous.
Interesting. And that would be?
You could be nice.
Oh, fuck that. No. Nice. That's a 4-letter word. I don't even... Nice. What am I supposed to do with that?
There are a lot of 4-letter words that can describe you. One of them has 2 letters in common with the word nice. It's not something you want me to say out loud.
Lice.
Yeah, leprosy.
Yeah, see, 4 letters. That's too many for me.
Evidently so.
Yeah.
So what's next on your exciting parade of today?
Potions. Which I only kind of dread.
Would it be considered rude if I suddenly had to wash my hair?
No. I think that might be for the... Yeah, no. You're good.
Is there anything you require before I go and see to my follicles?
You're a fox. You have a sharper sense of smell than the average person. Greenhouses, potions rooms, all a bit overstimulating for me. Any advice?
If you see any moss, stand nearby. They tend to dampen the scent.
Noted.
Have fun, and please try to keep the new enemies attained for today under double digits.
I don't know, I'm already at 4. That's an impressive number. I really do want to... Yeah, sure. That's fine.
And Reynard will leap off your shoulder, and as he leaps off your shoulder, like, he just, like, disappears.
Good boy. Right. He'll, just keep making his way to the potions room from there.
As you get to the greenhouses, it seems to be that, a bunch of the students have kind of broken off and, started to mill around and talk to their fellow students. Only 2 are actively inside the greenhouses. You can see what appears to be a human girl, black hair, green tips, very gothic poison ivy look about the makeup, like lots of like heavy black liner but with like dark green eyeshadow. That kind of green lipstick where it's like it looks black, then light hits it and it sheens off green.
Is it Sarah?
It's Sarah. And charcoal grey tiefling, grey robes, rounded spectacles, very, very serious look. Malekith. As they're both milling around inside this greenhouse, just poking and prodding at certain plants. However, all the other kind of students that you've met so far are kind of milling around just outside the greenhouse rather than inside.
Okay.
Before the rest of the party arrive, because you will arrive before them, is there anything that you would like to do?
I'm gonna tentatively look in the greenhouse. I'm not gonna go in there yet because I don't want to do that yet. But looking around, oh god, I guess I'll find a Lauren.
Ilaren's
the
quite...
guy you ratted out?
Yes, yeah. I can only dig this hole deeper now.
What to do now? Get him in more trouble. Yeah, Ilaren can be found easily. Ilaren is standing with a... Remind me, have you met... You haven't met Cedric yet, I don't think. He's standing with a blue tiefling. And he's also standing there with a girl who looks astonishingly like him.
Yes, his twin sister.
His triplet sister.
Triplet sister, that's right, there's 3 of them.
But you don't know what the other one looks like. The only difference really between him and this one is that where he has violet eyes, she has green. Fairly standard for wood elves. Other than that, same annoying red shade of hair. Same kind of expression that just hints at a little bit of himbo-ness. Just a little teeny bit. And she is messing around with what appears to be kind of like some kind of like rudimentary form of like a butterfly knife. Like she's just swishing it around and spinning it around her fingers and such. Well, they talk with Cedric.
I'll kind of wait for a break in the conversation, kind of slide in and say, hey, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Did you, and I'll turn to Ilaren, did you see Obsidian? Dude, big guy.
Yeah, real big. Really, really big. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Apparently he's protecting birds. And, well, to be perfectly honest with you, I think we're going to have to take him out. And his sister just gives him a look that very clearly says, like, I'd threaten to stab you in the head with this knife, but it would probably make you smarter.
I'm just going to turn to her. The thing is, I tried speaking into his mind, specifically last session, and it ended up broadcasting to her as well. So I'm going to try through pure, like, eye contact to basically say, do I take him in deeper or do I pull him out?
I've got to give the roll for the sibling attitude. Like, I need to see. Let's see. Will she defend her sibling or will she make it worse? She's a good sister. She's going to look at you and go, could you please stop taking advantage of how gullible my brother is? Because
I suppose
it will end with him like wearing a mask and dangling off of a rooftop, trying to be some kind of vigilante for mushrooms.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I actually think that Obsidian is just a little too strong for us, bud. I think we're gonna have to find a different approach. Maybe, rather than going after the birds themselves, there's a way to make them dumb again.
I got it. I hear what you're saying. I'll start researching ways. What if there was like a blacksmithing class and we learned how to make like rings of intelligence, but like the opposite, and then we put them on all of the birds like little collars.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it just all started with messenger pigeons, and then it just went wrong.
And we trusted them. Despicable.
With our precious mail. Who do you think they exposed? Sorry, I'm supposed to be getting you out of this. Wait, no, sorry. Hold on. No.
You can't help yourself. You just keep trying to lead them further into it.
Elwin just walks away. He's gonna see the party start approaching again and be like, yeah, okay. Woo.
Okay. Nikta looks on at you with a look of like, oh, what the fuck have you done? Like, what have you honestly done? And as you guys...
Sorry, I can't stop.
At this point, you four will be able to join in with the main bulk of students. Like I said, every student you've met is here. Just in their little groups whatsoever. This will be the last time I ask before class starts. As you guys rejoin the main bulk of the students. Is there anybody in particular you would like to speak to? Or anything you would like to do before class begins?
I'm going to go talk to Sarah.
You want to go? Okay,
because she's my roommate, and I want to say hi.
So you're going inside the greenhouse.
Is she inside? Yeah, I'll go there.
So you step inside the greenhouse, and you know, obviously you've been inside a greenhouse before. Very, very muggy, incredibly humid temperature. It's got that very heavy, earthy smell. Like the smell of like a really like loose soil forest when it's just rained. They've clearly just been watered very, very recently.
Okay, I do the thing with Gust again where I get the humidity off of me, just like in a bubble.
There's a sound of some kind of like, you know, some kind of like chirping insect or something here. Very, very swampy feel. Very swampy feel about it. A lot of the greenery in here is like flat, broad-leafed plants. There doesn't seem to be anything too exotic or wildly colourful in here. But Sarah is right there, available to be spoken to if you would like to.
And she was with Malekith, right?
Yes. They don't really seem to be like talking to each other all that much. Just like they just happen to be existing in the same room as each other.
Okay, I go up to Sarah being like, Sarah, hey! Hey, how was your first class?
Oh, hi. I enjoyed it, but not quite as well as I thought I would. I don't think that I'm a fan of lessons where the lesson might lick you.
I guess I didn't have so much of a fun time in there either, but you know what? If it's in the pursuit of learning, I will be open to anything. I don't suppose you sensed any illusions in that forest?
Not entirely, but illusions aren't really my forte. That's not my specialty, so to speak.
Well, we have to be on guard for illusions everywhere, as you say.
I just believe that the possibility of anything being an illusion is there. But then again, by that same stroke, the possibility of illusions themselves being illusions within our own mental structures and within our own perceptions is completely valid.
Ah, don't I know it?
Yeah, me too.
And who is this? Is your friend? Hi, I'm Rista St. Cloud.
Hi. Malekith. I haven't met you yet, have I? Sorry, I'm really terrible with names, and I don't entirely try too hard either.
Oh, don't worry. You certainly haven't met me. I'm certainly not forgettable.
I look forward to finding out if that's true.
Well, I will see you both in class. I am partnered up with a druid over there, so if you need any help, just come over and say hi and I can introduce you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I completely ignore the passive aggressiveness and go back to the group.
I love that. I will note that. I will note that down indeed.
Oh god, I'm making so many enemies.
You really are.
It's really hit or miss with Brista.
So that's Rista. What about the rest of you? Anybody you want to speak to? Anything you'd like to do before class begins?
I'm gonna see if I know his name. I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't write it down in that section. I should write it down in that section. Did I just lose it in my notes? Of course I lost it. Sorry, I'm finding the name. No. Reguin. I'm gonna go find Randuin real fast if he's here.
He is indeed. He is sitting underneath like a sapling tree, not an old tree at all. And he's just mucking around with like a compass. He's just like holding it and like moving it from side to side, forwards, backwards.
I have a hint for you for when you have your magical creature class.
Oh,
are you interested?
Absolutely.
Only 5 people passed last time, so you need to make sure as soon as anything appears, you do try to fight it. At least for this week.
If anything appears, try to fight it.
Creature-wise, yes. I'm not going to tell you what it is. That wouldn't be fun.
Okay, then I have something to tell you for when you first get your first, combat class.
Okay.
Don't make the teacher angry at you. She is terrifying.
What did you do?
Oh no, it wasn't me.
Oh, who made the teacher angry?
Right, so she has like a teacher's aide, right?
Uh-huh.
Large lad, alright? Half orc. Big lad. And he's got this big old hammer thing, right? Then she comes in, thump, 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 fur, face paint, the whole shebang. She smelled strangely of bear. I don't know if that's related. Either way, out of nowhere, puts her hand out from the wall, axe, whoop, into hand. I'm assuming some kind of magic, or she has a really close connection with that axe. Either way. So she takes the axe and she tells us to target the dummies and to start to channel magic through our weapons. We're learning about the basics of if you do this, you shall smite. If you do this, it will be like a smite, but not a smite. Ooh. So we're doing about that, right? Okay, being fancy about that and all that. And he turns around and says that when he was a first year, he was able to do this on the first day, blah blah blah. And she turned around and basically told him to shut up. And he says, "No, I'm not going to take orders from a student I haven't from a teacher that I haven't seen fight." And she goes, "Well, if you think that you're so hard, you can come and try and fight me now." And he turned round and he said he would. Next thing you know, she is bench pressing him while mocking his size, and then she just lamps him straight into the wall. I mean, like, threw him in the air, grabbed his ankles, and just barreled him straight into the wall. I'm pretty sure he left as some kind of half gnome.
Holy shit.
He hit the wall that hard, honestly. I swear to God, I heard him crack like a xylophone.
That is not terrifying at all.
She's cool, though. She's really, really cool.
She sounds amazing.
But I don't stand too close to her, by the way. When she gets angry, weird things happen.
Got it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what do you reckon is going to happen with this potions class?
I think someone's going to make something explode.
Now, Achillia, I know our friendship is absolutely brand new, but you cannot get my hopes up.
I think someone might accidentally explode something or accidentally set themselves on fire because they don't know what they're doing. And then I'm going to laugh because it will be funny.
Well, now you know if it's not at least one of those things, I'm going to be sorely disappointed and my day will be ruined.
Well, you can't have all good days. That's just how it goes. Then we can just go exploring and you won't be as happy when you show me what a sea is like.
Oh, I remembered about that, by the way. I almost forgot. I have an idea.
Okay.
I don't know where the sea is in, relevance to this place.
Okay.
I do know that they have a lake. So,
Okay.
I don't know if we can get to the sea, but I can take you to the lake.
That
and
sounds
we'll
great.
at least be on a ship.
Wonderful.
And the ship flies, by the way, just so you know, it flies.
That sounds amazing.
Anything else that you want to do there, Achillia?
Nope. Just wanted to exchange the information.
No problem. To the rest of yous, Constantine, Dia, anything that you guys want to do before?
Dia is shy wood carving. She's made a little owl bear and she passes it to Constantine.
Thank you.
Welcome.
They're so awkward. It's absolutely amazing.
It's like, here, take it.
Dia's 100% the kind of person that would make somebody a beautifully elaborate sculpture, then panic about me giving it to them, so just lob it at their face.
Absolutely.
Any other reaction other than that, Constantine, or is it just the thank you, you're welcome?
That's it.
That's
I
it.
don't know how to stop that.
They're both so awkward. She's trying so hard to be friends with Constantine.
The resident extrovert has abandoned them, and now they're stuck together.
Oh my god, I feel like Rista and Eldwin are assholes, and then Constantine and Dia are like awkward, and then Achilles is just like the one normal person.
Achilles the mom who's making sure we all have something come in.
I love how the levels that we have are absolute assholes who are either being incredibly sarcastic or being genuine, but they're usually so sarcastic you can't tell, to so unbelievably awkward I can barely say thank you or you're welcome without there being at least some part of mumbling. And then right in the middle we've got Achillia who's just like, I'm from the Feywild, motherfuckers, let's have some fun. I'm gonna mess with both of you.
No, Achilles is like, I'm from the Feywild, what's up with you guys?
Why do I have all the social skills, she says.
I'm the weird one.
If that is all for you guys, then at that point there's going to be Rista, you would hear it very clearly. You're not going to hear the sound of like wood smacking onto like soft compacted dirt, as from the back of the greenhouse a hatch door is going to open. It's not flat on the ground, it's kind of like slanted up a little bit, like an old school like cellar,
Like a cellar?
Yeah, as it opens, and out steps this femme-presenting figure. They are pale-skinned. They have what appear to be two horns that grow round their head and coil up into each other. They have like a spattering of dark paint across their eyes, and they have like foliage and such growing from their shoulders. They look over the students inside the greenhouse, and to you, Rista, she will say, are the rest of the students here, or is it just you three?
Oh, they're all waiting outside the greenhouse. Would you like me to call them in?
Please do.
Okay, I go to the greenhouse door and yell, "The professor is summoning us, everyone inside."
Everybody starts to flock in to the rest of the party. Are you guys moving inside the greenhouse at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay. As you all move in, you get a good view of the Professor. As you are now meeting Professor Zistera. Like I said, they're dressed quite dark green clothes seem to be the standard affair for them. They wear heeled black leather boots, and they have these lines painted over the body. Incredibly, how is it I would describe it? I would say almost like hedge witchy, like wicker hedge witchy. Absolutely astounding fashion. Quite frankly, I wish I could wear that fashion myself. And they do have pointed ears, very very high arched cheekbones. Ren, you would be able to recognise almost immediately. They are a hexblood.
Interesting.
And as they look over the class, they say, "If you would all follow me, please be careful. If you bump your head, it will hurt." And she turns and starts to make her way down these very rickety stairs. They seem to be made from almost like mangrove wood, that very very pale wood that grows in all kinds of weird woven shapes, and they've just been kind of cobbled together into a staircase that leads down into a dimly lit green light. Does anybody want to step into the creepy cellar?
I duck down.
Oh no.
Anybody that is over 5'7" is going to have to duck in here.
I think I'll be following after Achillea.
Okay.
Elvin will go in after Rista.
I'll follow as well.
Dia, you gonna go in?
Well, I already said that I was. Did you want me to go before? Or
Are you
Sorry,
going-
no, I didn't
We
hear
talked
you,
at the
so-
same time. I think we go down together.
Cool.
Some students are in first, some students are milling through you, but eventually you guys all get down in here. And in this cellar there is a oval room, maybe about 40 feet wide and about 80 feet long. On one end, as you come down the stairs, straight ahead from where you're facing at the bottom of these stairs, you can see a row of workbenches, each with a pedestal next to them, and a book on each pedestal, closed. At each station, there is a small cast iron cauldron and a mortar and pestle. If you pan your vision round to the left, you would see a large cast iron cauldron bubbling away. Every now and again, a faint whispered scream echoes from the cauldron. And for a slight second, you would see the manifestation of a ghastly face. Next to it is a desk which has on it a large book, a very obvious wand, and what appears to be a teddy bear, but the teddy bear's head has been replaced with the skull of some kind of small rodent. Maybe something along the lines of a groundhog or a rabbit. On the back wall there are tables with all kinds of potions and alchemical mixtures. and on the walls surrounding, the walls are like compacted dirt that have been pushed back and wooden framed into place. But it would appear the professor has used the compacted dirt walls as active planters, because with like no mounting pots or anything, there was just all kinds of flora and fauna growing out of here. At one point there's just like a whole half of a tree trunk that's been shoved into the wall, and it's got all kinds of fungus and mushrooms and toadstools growing out of it. The smell in here is pungent, like a combination of a greenhouse, the wildflower exhibit at a gardening centre, and like the spice and herb aisle in like organic food store. All of those, but with the pungency cranked up to the tens and then shoved in your nostrils at the same time.
Yeah, Eldon immediately just plugs his nose and like turns away.
You're also
I cast Gust that I urge the smell towards Eldon.
Fair.
Okay, Eldon quite sensitive to scents. What's your Constitution modifier?
+2.
+2. I'm gonna say I'll give you 2 minutes before you start having to make a saving throw for a small effect.
Okay.
Where was I? Ah, yes. In the back room, there's also planters with lots of different types of smaller plants. At the opposite end of this classroom, behind all the tables, there is 2 green-lit flame sconces on the walls. The sconces have large skulls over them, like deer skulls. And there are 2 lamps on the ground. The lamps are wicker woven, like the bird feeders. They all glow with a green flame. And in the midst of this little square made by the wall sconces and the ground lamps, there is a clay golem with its head hung over and its arms limp down at its sides, with a large gaping hole in its chest. Professor Stella will point to gesture to the desks and say, "Please take your place behind any desk you wish. We will proceed once everyone is stationary."
I go take a seat. I think as much as Achille wants to be in the front row, she kind of realizes, oh, I'm really tall. I shouldn't be in the front row. That's going to be a problem for others. And then immediately, like, heads towards, like, the side of the middle or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rista gravitates toward the middle where she can, like, be in view of everybody.
To put in a perspective of kind of like, how the desks work. So there's a left and a right row. Or side of the classroom, obviously. 2 rows on each side, and we will say that there are, by my counting here, there would be 6 rows. So it would go like A, 1, 2, walk space, 3, 4, B, 1, 2, walk space, 3, 4, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so you can pick almost like a grid like that if you wish. I do have an image of the classroom that I can send to you guys in the chat. I did try to get the virtual tabletop working for today, folks, but I just decided that it was not going to have it with me. So.
And during Pride Month, how dare it?
I know, right?
Homophobic.
How dare it?
Completely homophobic. If I go to here.
Completely unacceptable.
Absolutely, 100%. I've put it in the chat.
Okay.
If you go to Academy Game Images, you'll be able to see it there.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So I will, as recommended, gravitate towards a wall where there is moss growing out of it, primarily. One of the edge seats somewhere.
Okay. Also,
Dio will do the same, but across the classroom from Eldwin.
I also got it wrong. There's 5 rows, not 6. Got my own maps wrong.
Happens to everyone.
Okay.
I'll take a seat at the front. I guess A2.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yep. I'll take A, not A. I'll take B1. That way, I'm not in the very front row.
Okay. I wasn't even needing grid coordinates, but you know what? You guys are so top notch. You're giving me them. This is great. Let me.
This is gonna be so helpful for later.
This is gonna be so helpful.
Wait, is the letters the number of aisles, or is the letters the number of rows?
So row would be letter and then number. So like there are 5 rows, and then there's 4 stations within each row. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but that's just me.
Okay, so
it's nothing to do with you.
If you go left to right, you can count 5 different rows. Okay?
I'll just take a seat in the middle.
Okay, cool. So that would be
This is gonna take too long.
C1, 2, 3, or 4.
2.
Cool. Okay. Eldwin, you said you were hugging a wall, basically, right?
Yep, one near moss, so maybe C1, D1.
Okay. And then, Dia, you said you were sitting across the room from Eldwin. Okay, so that would put Dia at D4. Alrighty, cool. This makes things a whole load easier. Okie dokie. As you all come into your space and get settled, Professor Zestella walks over to the larger cauldron, walks up to it, plucks something from the table as she moves up by it and drops it into the cauldron, and it takes on this bright blue flare. She then turns to you all and speaks. Welcome to my introductory to alchemy and potion making. My name is Professor Zestella, and I am the High Alchemist and Potions Professor here at the Academy. Within my class you will learn how to brew many concoctions, and at some point you will be working with things that could be fatal if treated incorrectly. Alchemy and potion making is not for the faint of heart, and you will use ingredients and components which can alter the scales of life and death. Any questions? Good. Today we are going to work with a basic of potion making, a staple. We will be working on how to brew a simple antidote for basic poisons. To the left of each of your workstations, there is a pedestal with a book. Please open up the books and turn to page 176. You thought I was going to do it. You thought I would do it.
He's waiting.
You thought I was going to do it. But no. I would never make such a glaring reference. At page 176, you guys will find the basic recipe for a basic antidote.
Wonderful.
In each of these books, next to each of the ingredients, is a brief description of what the ingredient looks like. However, there's no pictures, just a description. Now, an antidote, once I find the... It would be helpful if I had the recipe in front of me. The antidote... Aha, I found it here. Like I said, the antidote has only 3 ingredients. Number 1. A combination of any of the following. So it can be made up entirely of one, or a combination of the 3. Bread moss, lion's mane, and snapdragon seeds. Each to be ground into a fine powder. Number 2. Any non-viscous liquid, such as water or alcohol. I love how I said alcohol and Charlie went like Edwin's like, yo, we get turned. And the third ingredient is an ingredient called agua aurea. Now, does anybody here have proficiency with nature?
I do.
Nobody else? Okay. Achillea, could you make me please a nature check?
Absolutely, I can.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's very nice. That's very nice. That is a 23.
Okay. On a 23, you know what agua aurea is. Agua aurea is another word for rainwater that is collected in a very specific way, so that it gives it a sort of magical property. It is water that has been gathered from the leaves of a lady's mantle plant. All of these put together, at the correct measurements, which are also given, will provide you an antidote, which, when drunk, will end the effects of a poisoned condition. If the agua aurea is used, as it does mark beside it that that is optional. If the agua aurea is used during crafting, it also acts as a partial health potion. Again, no pictures are included in this book, only descriptions of each of the ingredients, which I can also give to you if you'd like. You will be expected... Sorry. Don't know why I said that in my voice. Professor Estelle, as everybody is, looking at the books and, trying to kind of get it and trying to kind of craning their heads to try and see along the room if they can see any of the ingredients. Professor Estella will say, you will each be expected to either have the capability to operate the apparatus needed, or to find a classmate who is willing to help you with it. You have until the end of class to successfully brew an antidote, which we will test out. Good luck. And she just walks over to her own cauldron, picks up something and drops it in, and stirs it, and it suddenly turns purple. So, I've already described the agua aurea. Any non-viscous liquid could be any non-viscous liquid. I don't know how else to describe that. Bread moss, lion's mane, and snapdragon seeds. The descriptions are there in the books, but you guys don't have the book, so I'll read this out. Bread moss is described as being a scruffy, pale green lichen. The lion's mane, when I find that, it's avoiding me. Where's the lion's mane? I'm at L, so lion's mane. It should not be that far away. But it is avoiding me. I do not like this. So I will go to the other one and give you snapdragon seeds. Colourful little flowers that get their name from a children's game of squeezing the flower to make its mouth open, that reveals a bright red and orange interior with a long, pink, tongue-like stamen. Seeds can be found nestled in the pot nearby. And I don't see where this lion's mane is, which is confounding me. Why would you include something? And then, found it! Lion's mane is a large white mushroom that grows on the trunks of dead trees. Those are the descriptions you are given. Now, how would you like to go about making this? And I will say this. There's going to be no catastrophic failures, but there can be failures in this. So, I put to the party, you've been given your challenge for this class, make a potion. What would you like to do?
I'm getting in the zone, I'm getting everything ready, I'm going about finding my ingredients, including to see if there's any agua aurea around at all, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna find everything.
So you're going through this solo. You're just going at this completely solo.
Achillea's so used to making, like, kind of used to this kind of stuff on her own. If someone approaches her, that's fine, but she's gonna get started.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go up to Achillea.
Rista's right in there with the hay. So,
Hey, so remember when you said you would help me?
So, Rista,
I did.
you approach Achillea. Please go ahead.
Hey, Achillea.
Hi.
You said that you were just so good at this and that you would give me a hand showing me around plants.
Do you know what mushrooms are?
I know they are.
Do you know what any mushroom looks like?
I see them when they're cooked on a plate.
Close. Have you eaten lion's mane before?
I truly wouldn't know, Achillea.
Okay.
But I promise you. Just show me it once and it'll go right up in my noggin.
Absolutely putting this down right now. Rista's definitely dated somebody that takes lion's mane supplements. 100%. 100%. Absolutely.
Definitely got into fights about it so many times.
And insists that it definitely works. They can feel themselves getting more smarticle.
God. Like, I swear to God, this makes me focus so much more.
Alright. So I'll take Rista over, and I think Dio is also approaching, so I'll just kind of rope Dia into.
She just, like, hands you a shy carved owlbear cub.
I put it in my horns.
Oh.
Alright. This is a dead tree. Points at a dead tree.
Gestures to the dead tree stuck in the wall, covered in a multitude of mushrooms.
Mushrooms, like most fungi, like dead things. This one points at one that is lion's mane. Is the one we need. Are there any red caps on there?
There are, in fact, red caps, yeah, but they're more towards, like, the lower parts of the trunk.
Don't eat those. Points at Redcaps.
I have never my tattoo, and it makes me so happy.
I wonder, is there a red cap in this book? Is there at all? Please continue. I'm just curious about the book. I'm just like, is there red caps? Is there red caps in the book?
Nikilia will harvest some of the mushrooms and thank the tree.
Dia is helping, notices she thanks the tree, and also thanks the tree. A little confused, but definitely on board.
Rista definitely collects the mushrooms and does not thank the tree. She just pats it and is like, all right.
Okay.
Despicable.
Let's see.
Honestly.
You could leave it at this. I'm gonna go get the others ingredients because I like making my potions with all of the ingredients, but you can really just stick with these if you don't want to get more.
I'm gonna come with you because I want to learn all of the things.
And I'm just coming to watch you do your thing. You are so good at this.
Once we have all the mandatory ingredients, I'm dipping and making my potion.
So the first one you went to was the lion's mane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the lion's mane. I'm going to take this ingredient by ingredient. You will see why. So Dia and Resta, you guys have been assisted in getting a hold of the lion's mane. Okay, I'm going to count that for you guys. Eldwin, Constantine, how do you guys want to start out here?
Considering there's no pictures,
Only
Constantine
have descriptions to go off of.
Constantine is going to just try and find one of the ingredients, the one that seems the easiest to find. Trying to recall as much of whatever he read last night as possible while also being incredibly sleep deprived.
I mean, it's up to yourself which one you want to go for. Do you want to go for the lion's mane? Do you want to go for the... would you like to go for the snapdragon seeds? Or would you like to go for the bread moss?
Like the snapdragon seeds. We'll go with that.
Okay. So, based on the description you've been given, I will ask you, do you have a proficiency with nature at all? No?
No, not with nature.
Then I need you to make me an investigation check.
Okay. That's oh geez, what is math? 23.
23. As you look around, you're able to see...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm rolling at disadvantage because I have a point of exhaustion. That's way too good. Hold on. Let me try that again. That's not as good. That's a 13.
Okay. On a 13, you're still able to see the very telltale bright orange bulbous head, fading into a kind of muted pink at the end of the petals. You can see a snapdragon plant. With like a long green stem neck and two broad leaves that come out, and you can see some seeds lying in the bottom of the pot.
I will grab some of those. As many as the book says I need. I'm just going to try for one ingredient.
Okay. Does a 12 hit you?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Does a 12 hit you?
Oh my god,
no,
it's a pun!
No, it doesn't hit you?
No, not a 12. I'm not quite that squishy.
You reach your hand in and grab a wee handful of the snapdragon seeds, right as suddenly this snapdragon and its tongue rolls out, and you manage to get your hand out away just in time as this snapdragon plant is very much a dragon that snaps. You now see it as like a living plant, and it's kind of like it's opened its petals up, very very Demogorgon from Stranger Things style, flared out with this long stamen tongue, and you can see that what looked like little specks on the little speckles on the inside of the petals are actually barbs, which, you know, presumably grab off the stem and pull in, then hook with the barbs to, you know, slowly digest.
I'm gonna move very quickly away towards the next ingredient and not think about how I almost lost my hand.
Fantastic, well done. Eldwin, what about yourself?
After reading it, Eldwin is going to process about a third of it and then walk around the classroom to see what ingredients everybody else is getting.
Okay, so you can see that Achillea, Dia, and Rista have kind of joined together, and thanks to Achillea's knowledge, they've went straight to the tree trunk and they've grabbed chunks of this lion's mane mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Constantine has just about avoided losing his hand to a snapdragon plant. A bunch of other people are making their way towards the mossy growths of bread moss.
Okay.
Which is very easy to see.
I'm also gonna go to the snapdragon. I'm gonna very casually approach after Constantine leaves.
Okay.
And use my telekinetic feat to pull seeds to my hands without reaching in at all.
You use a telekinetic feat, you lift up a handful of seeds and you bring them to your hand. And you walk off smugly holding them in your hand.
Teehee. Are they the right thing? Like, I want to make sure. Like, is this a snapdragon plant?
Yes,
yeah,
they are snapdragon seeds. Okay, so now everybody has their first ingredient. The second ingredient that you now have to get is water, alcohol, or you have to get agua avera. It's your choice. Your choice which order you do them in. Now, Achillea, I remember you saying that you were going to look and see if they had any agua avera, yeah?
Yes, but I'm going to wait until Rista is brewing things before I start looking for it.
Ah, I see how you're going here. Okay, no worries.
You caught on to my tricks.
Then in that case, are you looking to just get water, or do you have any idea for any other non-viscous liquid you would like to use?
I'm gonna actually show them the other two plants for those, like the snapdragon seeds and the moss, just so that they know what they look like for the future, in case they need to find it again.
Right.
Many thanks.
And then I'll help them look for water.
The water's fairly easy. There is what appears to be a natural circulating, free-flowing stream of water, which comes in from above and then seems to disappear back into a wall. But some of it, it's enough that you can put like a cup into it and get like a cup full of water from this very clean, free-flowing stream, which comes down. It's almost like a little bamboo coil, which disappears back into another carved hole in the wall. But you can get water incredibly easily. It's not that difficult if you're just going for the water. So in that case, Achillea, you go and get your water. Fantastic. Rista, Dia.
Dia is like following Achillea like a puppy. Because she's like, I've never ever been allowed in the greenhouse, and I do not want to make a mistake on my first day. Oh, baby. She's trying so hard.
Rista, are you sticking nearby as well?
Yeah. I do collect my own water, so I can prove I'm not totally incompetent.
Okie dokie. Eldwin, Constantine, what about yourselves?
So just to understand correctly, it's any liquid,
any
or
non-viscous liquid.
Non-viscous liquid, or the aqua verde, which gives
the agua avera is a optional third ingredient.
Optional third. Okay, I'll just get water.
Optional.
You're just going to go and get water? Cool, the exact same.
Oh.
Go to the water, you grab a wooden cup, scoop up some water, it's very easily done. What about yourself, Eldon?
I assume just water would be the best solution.
Pulls out a pocket flask. 1 shot of vodka.
3 parts
I'm
of
so
rum.
surprised Eldwin doesn't carry a flask. Of all the things I would have bet.
Nah, not his vice of choice. No. Yeah, he'll just go gather some
milliliters
water.
of Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. Never leave the cave without it. Okay, so all of you grab your liquid additive, which is water, which everybody's chosen. Now, who here is going to try and identify the Agua Avera? Achillea and Constantine, cool. So
I'll watch it.
Oh, Eldwin's gonna try. Okay.
I'll try.
I have a plan for if I can't find it as well. I don't know if it'll work though, but it'll be funny.
Rista, Dia, are you guys wanting to attempt the check?
Hell no.
I'm gonna watch Achillea and try after her once I watch her, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching Achillea. If Achillea finds it, I'm just gonna copy her.
But Dia's she's not I want to copy her. She's I want to see the process that got her to it if she finds it, because she wants to be able to do it for herself next time.
Okay, in that case, Achillea. So, as I said, Agua Vera is fresh rainwater that is taken from the leaves of a lady's mantle plant. So step 1 to that is going to be, do you know what a lady's mantle plant looks like? Because the book doesn't give you a description. So roll me a nature check.
That is a 16.
Could Dia give her the help action? If she's
Could
helping
she?
her look for it? Rista's not helping, but I wanted to know if Dia was helping her.
If Dia doesn't know a lot about plants, I don't know how they'd give them the help action.
Okay.
But with that, you're actually just above it. I was looking for a 15 for that one, so with a 16, you know that lady's mantle is a small plant with clusters of yellow flowers. It has cup-shaped leaves. And while you can't see any bottles of Agua Aurea around at all, you do see a lady's mantle plant. And its leaves do look full.
I, with my other cup, just lower, I just collect the water from it.
Awesome. To everybody else,
I also collect.
you're going to go and get it as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So use a straight up, just go straight up and grab it. Constantine, Eldwin.
Yes, I want to make a stealth check to see if I can watch Achillea gather it. Because I don't know what it is.
I mean, I would say in the hubbub of students moving around, I mean, bear in mind, you've got 20 students inside here moving around in this quite small space, realistically. I don't think a stealth check is going to be needed. Achillea probably knows that some people, if she walks up to a plant and takes something out of it, people are probably going to see it happening.
Okay.
The thing is, if you understand what it is that she's taking, that's the sticker right there. I would say Rista and Dia, maybe they would have to make a check to see if they understand what it is they're going to get.
Interesting. It's listed as a third optional ingredient.
It's listed as optional, so it's not needed, it's not required. It just almost amplifies the potion to have it there.
So if I'm looking around at what ingredients everybody else is getting, I see everybody getting the main ingredients, but do I see her specifically? getting that one.
So yeah, you do, but you also see other students who are going to other plants which seem to have leaves that are catching water, and they're taking water from those.
So it's like an insight check to see who's
I know,
correct.
right? Like, do I trust Achillea's judgment?
Do you?
It would be
Do you?
so because it's to do with flora and fauna from another plane of existence. It's actually an Arcana check.
Is it really?
It would be an Arcana check to see if you can correctly like who's grabbing the right stuff, or if you have proficiency in nature, I would let you use nature.
But
Not
if we're just
nature,
looking to
but
like
Arcana
find
I
the
can
flower,
do.
it's just a flat nature check, right? As opposed to watch Achillea to see if she's picking the right one.
Yeah, if you're just trying to find it on your own, it's a nature check. And that would be to look at the book, look at the description of it, go to Lady's Mantle, look at Lady's Mantle, and then try and find the Lady's Mantle plant.
Okay. So I got a 16 on Arcana?
16 on Arcana, okay, so with a slightly higher DC. I will say that you see a lot of students go to the same area as Achillea. So you don't quite see the exact plant Achillea goes to. There's other students reaching for different things. But you definitely know Achillea took something from a plant on that particular wall planter.
Without enough information, he'll observe, he'll see the students go for multiple different flowers from this area, and he'll be like, no, optional. He's gonna go away. You mentioned
I am
like
going
after,
for the basic model.
You mentioned after like 2 minutes there would be potential interesting
Yes,
side effects.
so I would once I hear from Constantine, I'm going to be coming to you.
Perfect. Okay.
So I did not roll well on my nature check. Assuming I don't have any bonuses from whatever I studied last night, I rolled an 8, which is not great.
So, if it was for the sake of like identifying purely based on like looks and such the individual ingredients on the basic side of things, I would probably still give you that. This is a bit more abstract. This is looking for a plant in order to collect a certain amount of things in order to get something else from them. Not to mention with the exhaustion, I'm going to say that an 8's not going to be enough on that one. Okay? You remember something about gathering water from a leaf. As for the name of the plant, or what that plant looked like, or whatnot, yeah. The descriptions, too many of them look too similar, so there's not really...
Yeah, he's gonna try and think about it, look at some of the flowers, realize he's not sure, and just go for the basic model rather than messing it up.
Fantastic. At this point, well, Eldon's away, so now we get to the good part.
I'm here.
You're there.
I'm
Fantastic.
just off screen.
Okay.
I wanted an extra layer.
I love the layer you chose.
Thank you.
I would like you to make me please a Constitution saving throw.
Ha! 6.
Oh no!
As everybody gets to the brewing stage, Eldwin, as people start adding ingredients in multiple different volumes and varieties, the smell in here gets pungent. Like elderflower, but if elderflower was mixed with battery acid. Like real bitter with that sickeningly sweet, you know, that kind of like cloying sweetness that sticks like up here when you smell it, like that.
Where it almost hurts.
Yeah.
Like it's all...
A faint green mist is collecting at the ceiling of this classroom as everybody starts to brew. No downsides as of yet, because it's only your first fail. But you're definitely like... You're definitely the early stages of doing like the mini heaves.
Mm-hmm.
I go to my favourite part. Does anybody here have proficiency in herbalism. A herbalist's kit, sorry.
I do. I do.
I could see for your excited tensing of like, I do!
This is my shit! This is what I
This
do!
is my shit. This is my class shit right here.
Nobody else has it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I need all of you, as you prepare your ingredients, to make me... It's going to be, because it's a mortar and pestle, I'm going to say it's going to be a strength. It's going to be a strength check on that one. Achillia, you can make that with proficiency as
Wonderful.
you begin to grind up everything into a fine powder. The DC for yourself having proficiency with that as well, Achillia, will also be lower than the others. So...
Fun fact, my strength and intelligence are the same.
I'm a wizard, I dumped my strength.
Same.
I didn't give a shit.
My strength is almost as bad as my charisma.
My strength,
was great, but my roll was bad.
Intelligence.
Does Achillia our only strong one here?
No. I think Dia is stronger than Achillia is.
Oh yeah, because she's a
I would be really surprised if she wasn't.
She is strong, but Ems is bad at rolling today.
Yeah,
So-
Bren, I got a 6.
So a 6 on that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
6 for Rista. Eldwin.
13.
Constantine.
Hold on. Okay, first roll was decent. Come on. Let's rush. That's not a valid roll. Okay, I can mess with that. 15.
15. Achillia.
12.
Dia.
11.
11. Rista, just so I've got this marked down right, did you tell me an 8 or a 6?
6.
6. I put that as higher than what you rolled. I was like, you rolled an 8. Okay.
Should have lied.
So you all set about grinding your ingredient that you've chosen, whether it is the lion's mane, whether it's the bread moss, or whether it's the snapdragon seeds, grinding them up. We now move into the last stage of it. The brewing. Does anybody here have proficiency with alchemist's kits? Okay, first time for everybody. So, here's how this is going to work. I need you all to make a flat intelligence check. Achillia.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say this is a bit more extensive than probably what you're used to. A bit more of an enhanced kit. So you're going to be the same. You're just going to be rolling at base, but it is intelligence based, this one. Okay, guys. The reason I'm using intelligence for this one is because measuring and putting things in, looking for the right consistencies and such. So intelligence checks away. Everybody's rolling for the same one this time.
Please, for the love of God.
Frick, frack, paddywhack, that was not better.
What? Why?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So
Why
scared.
does the Enneagram hate me today?
That's not bad.
I've got a
And
single
never seen
roll
it
above
already.
10.
Constantine, your roll.
18.
Achillia.
16.
Rista.
6.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Eldwin.
15.
I'm completely lost without Achillia.
Dia.
That's another 11.
Okay.
Both of these dice are fired for the remainder of the game.
Mood.
Constantine, Achillia, and Eldwin. As you guys follow the instructions in these books, to varying degrees of confidence or even varying degrees of, surety of what you're actually doing. You will each notice in your cauldron. Eventually this potion takes on a lilac colour. Semi-opaque, you can kind of see through it. Kind of like murky water, how you can kind of see things, but also kind of can't. Dia, yours turns a dark purple. Kind of gives off a little bit of a steam, like sizzling sound.
I sense that is wrong.
Rista, yours turns jet black. Like
Oh
tar.
no.
Okay.
Oh no.
It is bubbling, but it's that slow bubble that inflates, and then when it pops, it's not like a... It's like a...
It kind of, the smoke
brown,
turns into a skull.
Faint brown gas like comes out of each bubble that bursts.
Do I need to make another con save for that one?
At this point, yes, there's definitely another con save. Let me just roll. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, do you know what? We'll take one of these and go 5 as well. Let's see. You're definitely rolling con saves because you nat one the con save. You nat one the con save. Woo! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Out.
Oh my god! He might die.
But we're making a poison potion.
Eldwin, what is? I need to just because obviously level 1 and stuff, right? I need to ask, what's your max hit points?
7.
Okay, cool, right. So, Eldwin, I'm sorry to say this, but you're going to pass out. Because it's a nat 1, it's a crit fail.
It's a crit fail.
Oh god.
Because it's a nat 1, it's a crit fail. So by the rules I use, if you take damage based on a crit, you max the damage. The damage for a standard poison is a d8.
Oh boy.
So 1d8. And now I've got to roll the dice and see what it gets. If this is a 7 or an 8, he could feasibly be dead. Like, straight up dead. It was a 1.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Can you imagine dying third session because someone screwed up their potion?
And the only reason that I'm doing that right now is because 1, he's failed 1 save before, so the next save would be a damaging one, and because he is directly behind you, Rista. He's
You
right
were
behind you.
C2, I was D1.
He was right behind me.
So
does he pass out?
he passes out. He's not
Oh,
dead,
shit.
okay, but
I'm
he is
just imagining
unconscious.
like a thump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a put that bubble on in your tar black potion pops, the brown gas kind of, and Eldwin, you just get a smell of like pure concentrated, like, yeah, just straight up fucking battery acid mixed with like the stuff that's inside of like a car battery, like, you know, that black gunk, yeah, all that mixed together straight in the nostrils, and you just flat out on your back. You're unconscious. But we're not in combat, so you're not doing death saving throws. We're going to do what I'm going to do based on the rules that we gave for you making the con saves. What we'll do is we'll go 2 minutes and you wake up.
Okay.
Based on your con modifier being a +2. As for the rest of you, Professor Zestella looks over you all and says, your time is up. You should have successfully brewed something by now. And now we're going to test them. She takes her wand, and as she holds it, you guys watch as a vine grows from the handle up and curves around, and a thorn pokes out the top. Then she's going to put her hand out, and the little teddy bear with the skull on it is suddenly going to jerk its little head towards her, then go onto all fours and crawl up onto her hand,
No,
and up onto her shoulder.
absolutely not.
Well, that's horrifying.
she's going to take the wand and she's going to jab it into the little teddy bear's belly. Then put it on the table, and the little teddy bear just rolls over onto its back with its little 4 legs in the air. She looks at it, then looks out and says, "Do we have a volunteer to rescue my familiar's life?" And that's where we're going to take our 15-minute break.
That is anxiety-inducing.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys, and come back in 50 minutes and see if they can save the familiar, or if they make it 10 times worse. Don't go anywhere, folks, and we will see you after our 15-minute break. Woo! Hello, beautiful people. We are back, and we're about to see if these potions work. So, would anybody, and not to make this any worse on anybody, would anybody like to volunteer?
I'll volunteer. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Achilles steps up to the mark. Professor Estella takes your potion. She picks up her familiar and she pours her potion in his little skeletal mouth. And after a couple of seconds, he squeaks, burps, and sits upright. Perfectly content and happy, as your antidote was successful. You also see some of the patches on him heal up, because you successfully brewed the enhanced version using the Agua Aurea. Professor Estella looks at you, and she gives a nod, and then says, "That was impressive."
Thank you.
Which is, for her, a glowing commendation. She then takes the wand and jabs it right back into the little bear.
No!
This is freaking animal abuse.
He squeaks and falls over. He's a familiar, by the way, like, just to point out. They pop back up. They're kind of resilient. Is it worse that I'm holding a small bear?
Yes.
Who would like to volunteer next?
Dan first.
Constantine. You bring up your potion. And as your potion is fed into the mouth of this little bear rodent hybrid, for some reason I've now given him a squirrel's tail. I'm just adding to this familiar as we go along.
Oh my God.
The same thing happens. He sits upright, burps, squeaks, and he's fine.
Is there any more of my potion left?
I'd say probably, yeah.
I'm gonna discreetly, on my way back to my seat, presumably as she's moving on to the next student, I'm gonna go walk up to Eldwin and pour some down his throat.
Oh, he's unconscious.
So you take some of your potion and you pour it down Eldwin's throat.
See if it works.
I'm going to rule it, yeah, well, Eldwin can come back to the land of the living. Because, yeah, Constantine... Oh, no, sorry, that's a lie. You don't. Sorry.
Because he doesn't have the aqua.
You only brewed the basic. So no, it doesn't heal you, actually.
Also, I wasn't poisoned. I was damaged by poison.
Yeah, so you were dealt damage by poison.
Yeah, you received poison damage, not the poison condition.
Yeah.
So you would still
I'm just gonna look down.
D&D's fun.
You would still gain half the damage back that was dealt. By the wordings of the potion. If I read it correctly. Maybe I'm wrong and this entire roleplay thing just went very wrong. If Agua Aurea is used during the crafting, the antidote has an increased potency and heals half of the hit points most recently lost to poison damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Skadoosh. She again takes the wand, jabs it into the belly of the little bear. Eldwin, nothing changes for you, unfortunately.
Constantine's just kind of shrugging, like, oh, thought that would work. And go back to his cauldron.
We won't tell him you tried to be nice.
I wasn't trying to be nice. I wanted to see if it would work on humans as well.
Purely an experiment.
Who would like to volunteer next? Dia!
Oh, it's gonna work, but I will go up
Delia, you approach with your purple potion, which has the consistency of like runny honey.
It's kind of like.
You present it, and it's poured into the little taxidermy cross genus
Frankenstein
thing. Yeah, do you know what we're gonna? Yeah, Frankenrodent. Fuck it, his name's Frankie. You can put it into Frankie's mouth, and there's a couple of seconds of nothingness before Frankie suddenly bolts upright and like opens his little mouth, and like just there's this scream that comes out, but it sounds oddly deep for such a small creature you expect to be quite high pitched. It's less of a and more of a. But he's up and active. The professor is going to look at it and then look to you and then say, your ingredients were well prepared and they were correct, but you brewed your potion at too high a temperature.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And then she stabs the bear again, and the bear, little Frankie rolls over again. Who would like to volunteer next?
I literally can't. I'm
Eldwin
unconscious.
can't volunteer.
Sorry, girl.
So... Line after line, students go up and down, up and down. Many of them, making things worse to a certain extent. One of them even puts forward Eldwin's.
Yeah, I'll go after someone who's like equally as bad as mine.
I don't get to present my own.
You're unconscious. How are you going to present your own?
By waking up.
Okay. You're waiting until somebody is as bad as you, Rista. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's not like.
Okay, cool. Do you know what? I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna do this right. There's 5 of you. There's 5 rows of 4, so that's 20 students. So I've got to roll these dice 3 times. This entire handful 3 times. You got a 6 on both rolls.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's an 11, and that's a 4. So that's a total of 15. That's a 7, and that's a 19. Still higher than 12. That's a 7, and that's a 6. That's 13. Oh, it's getting close. That's a nat 20. That's a 5, that's fine. That's a 16, and that's a 9. First set done.
Nice.
19, and 9. 4. 4 and 2! There's somebody who's worse than you.
I go after that first.
Okay, cool. Somebody that's worse than you. It's green and black. It's green and black. Let's have a look at these students and see who fits the green and white and black aesthetic. Do you know who actually does fit it perfectly?
It's Sarah, isn't it?
No.
Is it Sarah?
Ilarin Willowin. They feed Ilarin Willowin's potion to this little dead bear, and you watch as the thing just melts. With exactly that sound. And Ilarin just kind of hopelessly stares at this little puddle of what used to be Frankie. And then Professor Stella's going to look to Ilarin and just say, I'm going to have to say that's not successful. However, if you do intend on using this to harm someone, this could be quite potent. Ilarin kind of walks back to his desk with his head down. And then Rista, you're up.
I go up and not with much confidence, but I'm not shying away either. I know it's gonna fail.
Professor Estella looks at the tar that you've produced, then looks to you, looks back at it and takes a spoon, and it's like, as she puts the spoon into it, you see she doesn't just put the spoon out, she puts the spoon in and has like push in.
Oh god.
It has like the consistency of Nutella that's been left in the fridge. And then she half feeds, half pours this into Frankie's mouth. And Frankie just sits bolt upright, makes a small little and then just keels over to the side limp. Professor Sestella is going to say, "You're looking to grind everything into a fine powder. You've obviously left lumps, and well, I don't know if you can tell from the colour, but you burnt it. Endeavour to not make these mistakes in the future." And then she stabbed the bear rolls over again. After she, pops him out of existence and pops him back in. Eldwin, at this point you would wake up from your keeling over, and you can see that everybody is presenting their potions. Would you like to volunteer, or do you want to be last as you shakily get yourself up?
Gosh, no, he stands up and he's like, "Oh, no, I've got it. I'm good. I'm great. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. We're good."
As you approach the workbench, there's still a faint scent of melted Frankie.
Professor, is there... sensitivity to smells, is there like clips or something?
She goes into her desk and takes out 2 balls of wax, kneads them into like small plugs, and then offers them to you.
Good enough. Takes them, sticks them in, molds them well enough, and then presents his
Have you guys
vial.
ever used wax plugs by any chance for like nostril or they work tremendously well, by the way. It's not like a case of like this is a last ditch effort. See, if you get like candle wax or beeswax, knead it into a large enough clump, then just shove it in there. Like you won't smell a damn thing. They can lock it in there, man.
That'd be good for doing diaper changes.
Noted.
It wasn't a diaper change, but it was certainly something along those lines as to why I found out this works great.
Goodness. But yeah, he'll present his vial.
She will take the vial, she will pour it into little Frankie's mouth, and Frankie will squeak and burp and sit upright, happy as Larry, as you were successful in brewing a basic antidote. Funnily enough, much the same as Constantine. At the same level of success as Constantine. Ha! Give me just 2 minutes to roll some dice, talk amongst yourselves.
Aye, that's terrifying.
I don't like how she keeps killing it.
Neither do I.
I mean, it seems fine.
No, it's...
Well, like, I still don't like
You
it.
don't do that to an extension of yourself. Especially not a living, breathing extension of yourself. Ugh.
Yeah, but what about, sanguinomancy? I mean, there are people who manipulate their blood. Hemocraft.
Yeah, but that's their own blood. That's not, killing yourself again and again.
Well,
it's not killing a being again and again.
Look at it. It just melted. Is that really a being?
I don't know.
I For
I
your
don't like
sake,
abandon. I would never do that to him.
I hope your familiar did not just hear you say that.
He's
Oh,
actually
he
getting
did.
his fur done right now. Yeah, let them go.
And to his follicle.
Or Reynard let me go. It's really hard to tell with that dynamic.
I like to think of it as like, you know how in Beetlejuice they have like the little waiting room for when you die?
Yeah.
I like to think of it that's like how familiars are chosen, and you just kind of sit there, and then it's like somebody's cast and find familiar for the first time, calling number 4927, and it's like, it's me! And it's like a rabbit, like, wee! I like to think that what happened was, Constantine was meant to get one, and
Reckless cut in line.
Reckless was like, you know, this guy was like number 4, and Reckless is like number 13,000, and he just swapped and just skipped the queue. There's just
Skip
like,
training.
I wonder what kind of familiar he was supposed to get.
Somewhere there's a barbarian walking around who got an item that let him cast Find Familiar, and he's just like, I just want to punch everything! Ah! I want to eat everything that's alive! It's like a bugbear or something like that. And he's got like this owl who's just like keeps insisting like you should sit down and practice writing your name. He's like, shut up, nighttime flap. The word is owl. It's literally more difficult for you to say those other words. Go away. I can order you to do that.
Wow, okay, spin-off series where I play the opposite.
Practice writing your name.
Right, that's your challenge. See, after this, we need a campaign where you play as that barbarian.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
A chaotic,
Oh my
reckless
gosh.
barbarian and just an owl trying for the love of God to get him to be literate.
That's the entire. The character's goal is just to kill anything that moves, but the actual character arc is not for the player. It's not for the character. It's for the familiar to get him to learn how to spell his name.
It's like
And
the Duolingo
his
burn.
name's something like really simple, like org or something like that.
I swear to God, if it's a green owl.
You didn't read your Spanish.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Just the barbarian waking up being like, you didn't study your languages today.
You know what that means?
Holding a knife next to his ear canal, just like, you're gonna study today, right?
No, that's after like years of the owl dealing with the barbarian and the owl
Right.
just being like, I've lost my patience.
Right, we're writing in common today.
Did you know Dwarvish and Giant use the same dialect?
I did.
Lord have
Fantastic
mercy.
character concept.
Imagine getting woken up by a green owl just going, say wolf, but in abyssal.
How do you conjugate this verb in celestial?
I don't know Latin. With class being concluded, the professor is going to say, you have performed sufficiently as a class. I have only mild trepidations about some of you. The rest of you are quite questionable in talent. However, Achillea, your skills have stood out, and therefore you have made the best antidote today. It is what I would deem adequate. And for that, you have earned this small prize. And she's going to reach down and pull out a potion. It's about yay big. Glass bottle, but it's like a ridged glass bottle, so instead of being like smooth around, it's almost like it dips. Like if you were to turn this bottle and look at it from the base up, it would look like a sun. It's a bluish lavender colour.
Ooh.
I was out there, where's the book? It's sitting right in my lap. And what you have been given, it is labelled, funnily enough. Here we go. It is a rare potion. It's called Desert's Blessing.
Ooh.
This potion can protect even the weariest of travellers from lack of sleep. Ingesting this potion gives you the benefits of a short rest, as well as protecting you from taking any points of exhaustion for 24 hours.
Rats.
It doesn't take effect immediately and requires at least 10 minutes before it takes effect. It also has the recipe attached.
Bruh.
I know what I'll be making a lot
Constantine's gonna
of.
start doing drugs.
Listen, I need my magic Adderall, okay?
Good God.
That's what you've made. Look, magical Adderall.
And she says that this is a fairly safe method in which to do all-night studying, because you stay up all night but you can't take any points of exhaustion if you drink it. Side effects of using this can include side effects of prolonged use of this, however, can produce the effects of insomnia, which for the way it's put here is... Oh, it doesn't tell me how insomnia works. That means I get to make it up. Wee! That was great. So yeah. And with that, your potions class is concluded.
We did.
You now have
Well, we almost did it.
You now have an hour break before your next class. Professor Estella will tell you that in this break you are free to explore the castle. You are encouraged to meet with other students, talk to them, all that kind of jazz. And reminds you all that you're not to go in the forest unaccompanied. And only with permission. And never at night. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that? This forest is full of things that want to kill you. We're going to send you in alone in the dark.
What if they send a dog? Does that make up for it?
No.
No!
Yeah,
Surprisingly, no.
But
Even
what if
if
it's for like... What if it's for like detention and it's kind of like a punishment?
absolutely, why would you punish a child like that? Why? Why would you do
That just
that?
sounds like a liability.
Why?
Have you been to America?
Let's even go so far as to say, for talking sake, right? Let's say that the dog you were to send in with them was a really big dog, like just plucking one out the top of my head, a Neapolitan Mastiff, right? No, just don't do it. Even if it was a Tibetan Mastiff, no, don't do it. If you say to me in there's a herd of centaurs in there whose rule is if it has 2 legs, shoot. Right? For all intents and purposes, the Forbidden Forest is America.
What's America?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Also, as someone who's had mastiffs, they're chicken shits. Okay,
Like, I tell people this.
it doesn't matter
I
how
tell people
large
this-
they are.
I tell
You're
people this
done.
all the time, right? I worked with canines, were literally my specialty, right? Okay? People doing this are like American pit bulls, XL bullies, they're the worst. I'm like, have you met Jack Russells? Like, people talk about like they're vicious. If you take their muzzle off, they'll attack anything that moves. And I'm like, I have a Jack Russell who literally got into a fight with his own reflection.
I will stand on this until the day I die. Chihuahuas are 10 times scarier than pit bulls.
Of course
I
not.
love
My
it.
baby
Because
Frost
it's because they have a
closes her
prey
eyes,
complex.
goes like this when you kiss her cheeks.
I have a pit bull boxer. And you can literally do anything you want to him.
I'm
You can hug him, kiss him, you won't do anything.
I grew up with I grew up next door to this woman who had 4 Great Danes. Count that, 4. She had a one. She had a 1-bedroom flat. She was like a cat lady, but a cat lady who decided she wanted Great Danes instead of cats. Right?
Odd.
She had a 1-bedroom house and she had 4 Great Danes. Right? I used to roll around with those fucking dogs. Like I'm talking. I used to tackle these things. I used to lift them up and like slam them on the ground and shit. They did nothing. They were just like big softies. Right? Across the road is a woman who had a Pomeranian. You could not look at that dog without thinking you somehow are a threat to my existence. Like, it would just yap. I'm sorry, but right, if not to be kicked, why football shaped?
I stand by that.
I live by the rule that anything below 50 pounds is a cat, and cats are pointless.
Oh, how dare you!
Okay. Now you've crossed the line.
You haven't just crossed the line. You've, like, Olympic athlete launched yourself over it.
I don't think you realize how controversial what you just said was.
Yeah. Also, I like how we've completely abandoned D&D.
We've abandoned the game.
I know.
I will end that conversation with this. Anything Ron Swanson says is completely true. Up to and including, I know more than you. He does. He knows more than
Okay.
I have a story for that
Not
later,
ready.
actually, for you all, for
I
later.
love Ron Swanson. I live by his life goals. So with your hour free time, it's a free-for-all here, guys. What would you like to do? Is there a part of the school you would like to visit? Is there someone you would like to go and meet? Do you want to break the rules? Charlie, please think very, very long and hard about that last question.
Just before we leave the classroom, Eldwin is going to say, Achillea, and point to the wall of flowers and say, which one was it?
Question, on the wall of flowers, does there happen to be common yarrow?
If there is rules for it in here, then yeah. Let's see, common yarrow.
It'll probably just be called yarrow instead of common yarrow.
There is! Page 39.
Achillea will simply point, like, just pick a little bit of the yarrow and hand it to Eldwin. This one. And walk off with no explanation.
Is there any water in it whatsoever?
No, absolutely not. Yarrow is, in fact, I believe, a tree? Or a root, right? Yarrow?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is I mean, it's got clumps of white flowers and feathery leaves, but when I say feathery, judging from the image, this would not catch water.
No, absolutely not. Achillea's messing with you.
Yeah.
However, it is known to be an effective staunch for bleeding wounds. So if you ever get stabbed, just shove it like right in there.
I was gonna say, you know what? Eldwin puts it in a satchel.
You have some yarrow. It's quite common.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I want to do for the break yet, though. So.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'll move on to Constantine. What about yourself?
Do we have another class today?
One other class.
Do we know what it is?
Charms.
I'm gonna go read.
You're going to go read.
Well, did the professor specifically mention socializing, right?
They say that it might be this would be a good time to, meet your fellow students, but it wasn't really like it was put down as a you have to do
it. Is any of the party nearby as I'm walking out?
Yeah, I'd be nearby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just kind of turn to Rista. Can you explain to me everyone's obsession with socializing? I mean, I expect it from the students. Most of them aren't very focused on their studies, but why would the professors recommend that as well?
I think because we're in school, Constantine. You want to get to know people? You want to enjoy life?
I thought the point of school was to learn.
Are you really supposed to just learn on your own?
Well,
Constantine, if you never have a break, how can you possibly do anything? You need to have fun every once in a while.
right, but what
It heals the brain.
But what if that one moment when I should have studied and I go and have fun, as you call it, is the one moment that I lose a piece of information that I should have found?
Oh, so suddenly one slip up makes you not the smartest person in the room anymore?
To be fair, yes. I mean, it does seem like there's a decent amount of competition.
Do you think we're all in competition?
To some extent. I mean,
Academically.
they did earn a prize for getting the best potion, which they did seem to very well earn.
Listen, Constantine, I can't tell you what to do. All I can say is, I find that when I'm around people, I'm a much happier person.
Okay.
Do you want to come explore the castle with me?
You know? Well, I don't see how that could be beneficial. I have been wrong before, and I wouldn't be using the magical method unless I tested things that I haven't tried. Sure.
I'm gonna put my arm under your arm, and I'm gonna start walking towards the castle with you.
Constantine is
Let's go explore this beautiful
so
place.
incredibly uncomfortable, but he's not to the point when he's not gonna like remove it because he's just like, oh, this is happening, and immediately like you have never felt someone be quite so tense before.
I am so proud of him right now.
This is the most stressed out I've ever been in my life.
Yes, I've succeeded.
So, you're grabbing you and Constantine.
I'm kidnapping Constantine.
Okay. I'm going to note that down. Achillia, what would you be liking to do with your break?
I think Achillia's gonna head towards the dining hall cafeteria area. She hasn't been there yet. She's never been to it, never had dining hall or any cafeteria food ever in her life, so I think she's gonna decide to go try it.
Dia?
I think Dia is going to find a grassy spot outside and like spread out her blanket and then plop down and look at the sky. And she's gonna she's happy beating while she watches the clouds and stuff.
Okay. And last and most certainly not least, Eldwin, do you know what you would like to be doing on your break?
I tried so hard to think about it.
It's okay if you don't.
So Elwin's gonna go back to the library. He went the night before, ran into Constantine. They had their whole interaction there. But he left at the end of that. Elwin is gonna go back now. And so he's actually going to go into the library this time. Yeah.
Okay. With that knowledge of where everybody disperses to, I think that's a nice place to end for today. And we'll pick up with everybody's individual things they're doing next session. Now, understand, if I'm correct in what I'm thinking here, Dan, you might not be able to join us next week.
Yes, I'm almost certain that I won't. I think I'm on a plane, so...
Okay. We will have a look at that, and what we'll do is we'll put a potential nod in for next week, but if the party decides they want to, give it a pass rather than going ahead without someone, then we will do that. If we do continue, what we'll do is we'll do brief time skip. Rista is now on her own, doing what she does with whoever she does it with at that point. Okay? Just because a lot of people are doing things like, Achilles is doing something she's never done before, going to the cafeteria, and I don't want to rush that, and we're already at the 3-hour mark, so I think it's alright to take a wee nip there, and we'll pick up next session. No after credits scene for today, guys. I'm not going to leave you with more trauma than the multiple times you've seen a familiar being poisoned and brought back to life. Thank you for everybody that came to see us today. If you do like what you've seen, go and check out all of our other shows that we have, and do go and check all of our social medias. We are World Tree Quest on everything. Do keep your eyes peeled onto our social medias, because there's going to be some announcements coming within the next month or so. I'm not going to say what, but we're going to be taking a step onto a new branch on the World Tree fairly soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, if you want to see the things I do, you can find me on social media at Son of Asgard. I haven't posted in a while, but again, due to this other branch of the World Tree opening up, I will be starting to post more often. So keep your eyes peeled there. Other than that, if you find any of my other social medias, no you didn't, my mother is a devout Irish Catholic who will beat me to death with a potato. I'm going to pass on over to the rest of my cast. Charlie, is there anything you would like to plug at all?
I will be around for this. I will be around for Tides of Chaos, which is our other campaign that I'm a part of, on Friday nights, 6 p.m. CST. Yep. I don't think... Oh wait, no, we are good for this upcoming Friday, right?
I believe we're good for this coming Friday, yes.
The true tide of chaos we fight is time and scheduling. Like, that is the real one that we're fighting against with this campaign. But we are in a Githyanki prison, trying to break out and maybe confront Lilith. Not Lilith, Lich Queen Flacket. So yeah, you can see me there, and also haunting a local graveyard near you.
Fantastic, thanks very much for that there. Charlie, Ren, what about yourself? Anything you would like to plug at all?
Yeah, I still have I still have sketch commission donations going for families in Gaza who are seeking to rebuild and or evacuate. You can find all of the information for that in my pinned post on my Instagram at ChangelingRogue. I'll also be doing Art Fight this year, kind of. So if you do Art Fight, I will also have details for that up very soon, just finalizing a few things.
Fantastic, thank you very much for that. What about yourself, Dan? Anything for you at all?
Absolutely not. I'm in the Pacific Northwest for a week, and it's so nice, and I'm not dying of heat stroke anymore, so that's wonderful.
Love to hear it. Gina, what about yourself?
Absolutely not. I just started a new job. I have no time for anything else.
And last and most certainly not least, what about yourself, Ems? Anything you'd like to plug at all?
I have one for sure. The second one I'm going to run by you really quick right now. Can I plug that link that I shared in the server the other day?
Of course you can.
Fantastic. So, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sister has herniated a disc in her spine, pinched her sciatic nerve, and torn a ton of the muscles in her leg. We've been informed we cannot go forward with any medical treatment until she receives an MRI. But because Canada's healthcare is free, she can't get in until October of 2025, by which point she will have done so much damage that she will need invasive surgery, which is not fantastic because she has a little boy who is totally smitten with his mom and misses horsing around. So we're trying to pay the cost to get her into a private machine. I have that link if you wanted to reach out to me on my socials, which are all I choose no. Also, I do dumb stuff on there all the time, so that's good too.
If you get that link sent to me, I'll be able to post it when we next stream. Okay?
That would be amazing.
No
Thank
problem, you. Not at all. But yeah, if you can, anything you can give, guys, and even spreading the link around is great for raising awareness. So anything you can do. If that's everything from my players, then that's everything from me, and that's everything from us. Thanks for coming to see us today, guys. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. With me today, we've had the amazing Gina Donahue, we've had the astounding Charlie 1 at 2.0, we've had the tremendous Justan, we've had the wonderful Changeling Rogue, and we've had the absolutely brilliant. I started at and then went. I've used amazing and astounding, so I don't know any other words than that. So the absolutely brilliant. I choose no. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, thank you very much. Good night. Stay safe. Don't. If you're baking something or something like that, follow the recipe, because what was meant to be a loaf of bread could be cyanide. Oh, and also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night. Could be cyanide.